Alright, today we're diving into Edmund Spenser's epic poem, The Faerie Queene. Now, on the surface, it's all about knights and dragons. But if you look a little closer, you'll see it's actually a kind of secret guide, a blueprint for how to live a virtuous life, hidden right there in the story. So, think about it. You pick up this old story, right? There's a brave knight, a massive dragon, a princess who needs saving, the usual stuff. But what if that huge battle wasn't really about a knight and a dragon at all? What if it was a story about a struggle that happens inside every single one of us? Well, that is the big idea behind The Faerie Queene. It was published way back in 1590 by Edmund Spenser. And believe me, this wasn't just another poem. It was this huge, ambitious project that was actually meant to help shape its readers into better people. Now, to really get this poem, there's one key concept you've got to know. It's basically a story where everything, and I mean everything, is a symbol for something else. So the characters, the places, the fights, they all stand for bigger ideas. A knight might not just be a knight, he could be courage. A creepy forest might just be a symbol for being confused in life. Spenser uses this idea to build his entire world, and his plan for this thing was absolutely massive. He originally wanted to write 24 books. He only finished 6, but still. Each book focuses on a different knight, and each knight embodies one specific virtue. You've got the Red Cross Knight, who stands for holiness. Then there's Sir Guyon for temperance, a female knight named Britomart for chastity, and it goes on. So each hero's journey is really a deep dive into what it means to be a good person. Look, trying to get through all 6 books right now would take forever. So to really see how this all works, let's just zoom in on the first one. By following one hero's journey, you'll pretty much get the secret code for the entire poem. And that hero is the Red Cross Knight. His whole quest, from start to finish, is all about the virtue of holiness. But he's not on this journey alone. We've got 2 main characters who are basically pure symbols. The Red Cross Knight himself represents holiness, you know, the ideal good guy on a spiritual journey. And his companion, a lady named Una, literally represents truth. So the whole story is really about this one question. Can holiness stay united with truth? And, as you can probably guess, a quest to become a better person is never ever easy. The path is just littered with challenges, and they show up in the form of some pretty nasty monsters and tricky magicians. Okay, so their very first big challenge is this hideous creature, and her name says it all, Urdar. This isn't just some random dragon, she is the physical embodiment of lies and mistakes. This is test number 1, and it's not just about swords and shields, it's a fight against deception itself. So when our knight finally beats error, it's a symbolic win for truth. It's like he's striking a blow against all the lies that try to pull us off the right path. But the threats aren't all slimy monsters. The next baddie is a wizard named Archimago, and he represents a much sneakier kind of danger, illusion and betrayal. See, Archimago doesn't fight with brute force. He messes with your head. He creates these super realistic illusions to try and trick the knight and split him up from Una. His whole goal is to literally separate holiness from truth. He gets inside the knight's head, planting seeds of doubt, testing to see if his faith will just crack under the pressure. So, after surviving all of these tests, and a whole lot more, the Red Cross Knight's journey builds and builds towards one final epic showdown. So, the big climax of Book 1 is all about rescuing Una's parents. Turns out, they're being held prisoner by this absolutely terrifying dragon. This is it, the final exam. Beating this monster isn't just about being a hero. It's the knight's one last chance to prove his holiness and achieve true redemption. And he does it. By slaying that dragon, the Red Cross Knight finally completes his quest. He overcomes this ultimate evil and solidifies his place as a true champion of virtue. So okay, Knight slays dragon, saves the day. What's the big deal? What does it all really mean? Well, this is where that whole allegory thing really clicks into place. The story ends with the Red Cross Knight and Una getting engaged. And this isn't just some happily ever after thing. It's the whole point of the book. It symbolizes the perfect union of holiness and truth. What Spenser is saying is pretty powerful. You can't have true holiness without truth. And truth has to be the foundation of a good and virtuous life. And here's the cool part. Once you get book eye, you basically have the key to the entire Faerie Queene. This whole structure, a knight who stands for a virtue, faces trials that test that virtue, and in the end understands it on a deeper level. That's the pattern Spenser uses for every single one of the books. So why on earth would he write something so complicated? Well, Spenser actually told us his goal himself. He said he wanted, quote, to fashion a gentleman or noble person in virtuous and gentle discipline. In other words, this wasn't just supposed